Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we've got the Gem Summon Challenge back in the game. We've got it with items, and we are highlighted by something where you can get 10 Alpha Ethers, and this Gem Summon Challenge is where you only have to do 10 pulls with gems. We're going to talk about the 10 different options that you could get if you decide to do 10 pulls with gems, and if it is worth it this time around to do it, and then we'll take a look at the portals that you have the option to do those pulls from. Real quick before we get started, if you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and turn that notification bell so you can be alerted when I drop new content. So the top row is definitely the more desired options that you could get from the Gem Summon Challenge if you do those pulls, and obviously the 10 Alpha Ethers is the best thing that you could get. That is the exact amount of Alpha Ethers that you need to double limit break a 5-star hero. You could also get 70 Alliance Quest coins, which would be enough for 7 pulls, 700 Untold Tales coins, which would be enough for 7 pulls for either the Untold Tales 1 or Untold Tales 2 pulls, and I would definitely recommend the Untold Tales 2 option, which actually just dropped today, although I am saving all of my Untold Tales coins for when we start getting more new costumes for those heroes, whenever that may be. There's also the Instant Power coins, where you could do 7 pulls in that for the 700 coins that you get, and then the last of that top row is going to be the 1000 gem option. On the bottom row, you could get 1 golden emblem that can be used to get 1 talent node on a hero. Typically, people use those for the master class emblems. You could get an experience booster, which I think gives you 1.25 experience. Yes, plus 25% extra experience when leveling up a hero. You could get an Omnia booster. This gives you more food, iron, recruits, and items from story map stages, and then you can see the percentages directly below that. For food and iron, you get plus 150%. For recruits, you get plus 50%. For ascension items, plus 50%, and then crafting items, plus 50%. You could get 50 loot tickets, or you could get 1 Alpha Ether. So like I said, top row, definitely more desirable. Not that you get a choice of which one you get. Out of the bottom row options, I mean, 50 loot tickets is always going to be useful. A single Alpha Ether is still good. If you need food and iron, then the Omnia booster could be useful. Experience booster is never a bad thing to have, and then golden emblems are very valuable, but it's only 1. So I don't think anything on the bottom row is bad. It's just the top row is definitely more desirable for sure. Now let's go take a look at the options you could get pulls from. The first is the Titan Hunter portal, which just came back today. We've got a new hero called Lumi and Taiaga. We've also got Adeliza as the featured heroes, and then the other heroes in here is Homre, Isidore, Armamancharan, Ash, Gestalt, everybody's favorite Titan hero, just Gasteel rather. There's also Daroga, Jasper, Guardian Elephant, Grimsteel, Farah, Darkfeather, Phileas Fogg, Perseus, Athena, and that's it for the 5-star heroes that you could get from this portal. As far as the odds of pulling a 5-star hero, you could have a 1.5% chance to get a legendary hero, or a 1.0% chance to get a legendary featured hero. And to do a 10 times pull in this portal would be 2,600 gems. Next, we've got the Alliance Quest portal with Laurent as the featured hero. There's also Dominique and Porthos in this portal for featured heroes. And then there's also Athos and his costume, Aramis in his costume, the Beast, Rose de Flo. So these are all the newer Beauty and the Beast families. And then there's the older Alliance Quest heroes that you could get as well from that portal. So not a ton of heroes that you could get as far as odds for that portal. A legendary event hero only has a 0.3% chance, and a legendary feature hero only has a 1.0% chance. It would cost you 3,000 gems if you decided to do a 10 times pull in that. Next, we've got the seasonal summon with new hero Vernon as a featured hero. There's also Cupido and his costume, and then there's also Lempi as the featured heroes here. You could also get, actually, Voluptus is a new hero with their costume for 4-star. Same thing with Zorola's 3-star costume, but you could also get Anteros, which I believe came out last year, along with Dodgrum. Then there's also Eros, Elba, Kabori, Emeros, Pathontos, not exactly how to sure pronounce that, and then all these season 1 heroes. If you decided to do a a 10 times pull in this, it would cost you 2,600 gems. The odds of pulling a hero in this are 0.3% for a non-featured hero and a 1.3% chance to pull a legendary featured hero. There is also the chance for a perfect 10 in this portal, so each 10 times summon gives you a chance for a perfect 10 bonus. Perfect 10 bonus includes a random legendary seasonal hero and the following bonus items: 1 Tome of Ascension, 1 legendary Tome of Experience, 1 epic Tome of Golden Emblems, and 10 giant food bundles. And the hero received from the Perfect 10 bonus will not be a duplicate of the other summon results if options remain available. So that is a nice little option for this seasonal summon. And I do think that there are some very good options that you could pull from this portal. And it only costs 2,600 gems, which is another nice bonus. The next option is Untold Tales 2 portal. We've got Dueler Filler, Costume Ott, and Motsignor as the featured heroes. It would cost you 3,000 gems in this portal if you wanted to do a 10 times pull for that. The odds here of pulling a 5-star hero are 0.4% for a legendary Untold Tales 2 non-featured hero, 1.0% for a legendary featured hero. There's also Season 3 heroes that have a 0.2%, and then the classic heroes have a 0.9%. And the Season 3 heroes that are in this portal, who are they this time around? We've got Lord Loki in his costume, Alfriki in her costume. There's also Baldur in his costume, Gefjon in the costume, Skady in the costume, and that is it for Season 3 heroes. All right, let's take a look at what else we've got here. There's the Instant Power portal with Garten, Poffit, Nautica, and then also Tamatomo as the featured heroes. As far as odds of pulling a featured hero in this, there's a 1.0% chance to pull a legendary featured hero, and then 1.5% to pull any other legendary hero in this portal. And we've got here Prince Siegfried, we've got Medea, Hornfell, Norman, Winnie, Damon, Eros, Elba, Kabori, Pepperflame, Desmond, Zora, Black Caesar, Shackleball, Relius, Timaeus, Amadis, Fulvia, Domiventus, Leafwisk, Acid Fire, Shawl, Changey, Iron Maw, Liadra, a bunch of other ones here. These are mostly all older heroes, it looks like. There are some heroes that have costumes available in the game, but the costume does not come with the hero in this portal, unfortunately. So just keep that in mind with that. There are a lot of different options here, so hopefully there's not a specific one that you want in this list, because if you pull a hero in this portal, you're going to have even less of a chance of getting one that you want. All right, let's take a look at what else we've got here. I think that might be it. Nope, just kidding. We have to pick up Summon Portal that you could opt to do as well, with Modthrith and Bramble as the featured heroes. And then there's going to be some older heroes as well that do not get costumes if you pull them: Elnatahad, Xenalfad, Odin, Ariel, and then the Season 1 heroes. As far as odds of pulling one of the featured heroes, it's 1.8%, which I believe is actually the highest percentage to pull a featured hero in the game, except for the big portals, as I call them, like the Black Friday portal, the Harvest portal, Birthday Summon, and the Solstice Summon. And then there's a 0.7% chance to pull any other legendary hero. This portal would cost you 2,600 gems to do a 10 times pull, so there are quite a few options that don't cost a lot of gems between this portal, the Instant Power, which I think was 2,400 for a 10 times pull, and then there's the Seasonal Summon, which costs 2,600 gems, and then there's also the Titan Hunter, which cost 2,600 gems as well. So I have never been able to pull Gasteel in this game, and he is in the Titan Hunter Summon portal, which only costs 2,600 gems to do a 10 times pull. So I think that I am going to do a 10 times pull in this. I also would love to get Homri. I did pull Adalitza last time around, and I'm not a huge fan of Lumi and Tyaga. They deal 250% damage to all enemies. Against Titans, deals 500% damage. All allies get plus 50% attack for 4 turns. Against Fire Titans, all allies get plus 60%. And then all allies become soul connected for 4 turns. Soul connected allies share receive damage. I wish it was enemies getting soul connected with the defense down or something like that, so that we had a 5-star blue option for challenge events and alliance quests for the receive damage for enemies. But I really want Gasteel. I've never been able to pull him, unfortunately, and I have tried. One other thing to note is there is the the legendary troop summon portal. I am not positive if this would count if you did a 10 times pull with that. So if anybody does a 10 times pull for troops today, definitely let me know. Drop a comment down below if you were able to get the Gem Summon Challenge from that, because that would definitely be an interesting option for anybody who's still trying to pull for legendary troops. But I am going to pull in the Titan Hunter Summon portal here. So let's see if I can find two colors of the same next to each other. And we do have Ash and Gestalt that we found. So let's put it here in the middle. And come on, Empires and Puzzles. Give me a Gasteel finally, please. First up, we've got Guardian Jackal. I would also take Homri. Those are probably the two that I don't have. And we get Lumi and Taiaga as a legendary hero. Okay. Bogart and Treeville. Cthulhu. Bagreg. Nordri. Wilbur. Love Wilbur. Sun Shengxiang, and I think that's going to be it. We did pull a legendary hero with Lumi and Taiaga. I do not know if I'm going to level them, although they do get really good bonuses or family bonuses from the Titan Hunter family. At the start of each battle, they receive 10, 15, or 20% mana, depending if you have 1, 2, or 3 unique family members. Against Titans, they receive 40, 60, or 100% mana. And then they also counterattack with 100, 120, or 140% of the damage received from Titan specials. And they get a Monster Island bonus also. That's interesting. Heroes belonging to the Plains Hunter, Abyss Hunter, Jungle Hunter, and Titan Hunter receive the following perks in Monster Island: plus 40% attack, plus 40% defense, and plus 40% health. So Lumi and Taiaga is an attack all hitter. I think it was for 250% when the special is maxed. Let me go back over here. Yes. 250% damage to all isn't a ton of damage, but with the extra plus 40% attack, they could be useful for Titans. So I'm going to have to, I mean, not for Titans, for Monster Island. So I'm going to have to think about if I want to level them up. But let's go over to the Gem Summon Challenge and see what we get today. Hopefully we get those 10 Alpha Ethers. Come on, Small Giant. Give me just something from the top row. Alpha Ethers, please. And we got Alliance Quest coins, which, again, not the end of the world. 7 pulls from that is pretty good, and there are some good featured heroes around right now. Let me know if you decided to do the Gem Summon Challenge this time around, and that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And if you did, hit that like button. Make sure you sub to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.